What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined as always by my dad Sean, and today, reactions to the classics. We got another top 10 list. This time of Mr. Jimmy Buffett. This list comes courtesy of our longtime patron and supporter, Josh. And Josh had some help on this one.
He did.
Because here he said, my brother Tyler and I collaborated on this list. We both made our top 10 separately, then finalized it together. Luckily, we had 5 of the same songs on the list. So always like when you got the overlap.
Find a little bit of common ground, it's always good.
Ooh. And he said, my brother was a big Jimmy Buffett fan before I had any interest. I couldn't even stand him. I just didn't get it, but then my brother brought us to see him live back in 2005, and that changed everything for me. It all made sense. It's a state of mind thing. When you listen to his music, it brings you to a different place, and it's so much fun. He's definitely not the greatest singer, nor is music the most innovative, but that's not what he was going for in the first place. I think that's a great write-up of Buffett in general.
Oh, I think it is too. He has 28 studio albums, 9 compilations, 8 specialty albums, 14 live albums, which I'll get into in a minute, 67 singles. Sold over 20 million albums worldwide, but he also is a best-selling author, owns 2 restaurant chains, and Trey's one of the richest musicians in the world. He's worth over $550 million. And here's why, because I did a bunch of research on Jimmy, as I always do for these things. He figured out early on, he's coming up in the early 70s where it's just a bloodbath in the album marketplace.
Yeah.
Everybody's out there and everybody's trying to push selling albums. He figured out early on that just what Josh said when Tyler took him to that concert, that his concerts were where the money were. He figured that out long ago. A lot of times artists didn't. They were trying to push those albums. Nowadays, that is the way to make money before the COVID world. But Jimmy figured that out, and that's how he kind of amassed his fortune and his following. He used to come here to where we live every single year.
And it was huge, man.
Yeah, way back when you were in high school, which is a long time ago now. You're getting to be an old man. Your classmates would go every year. I mean, it's all ages and all sizes. It's an experience. So I think Josh hit it right on the head there.
Yeah, and before we get into it, y'all, if you like this video, be sure to give us that big thumbs up. Hit that big red subscribe button down below. We upload every single day. There's going to be something for everyone. And as always, we're not going to have the music in here just due to copyright, but of course, we're going to have that link down below. If you want to see the entire video with the music, that is going to be there for you. And as my dad just mentioned, we will have the lyrics pulled up.
Yeah, jump the gun there. We'll have them up. We'll be checking those out. I did not get a lot of research on some of these songs. There just wasn't anything there. I'll tell you a little bit about the albums and stuff once the songs are over.
All right, well, let's start this off. Number 10, The Nine I Painted in the Sky from 95 in the record Barometer Soup. So let's get to it, man. I'm excited to see what we got here. I only know a couple.
So do I. I was going to mention it too. Yeah, I only know a couple Buffett songs.
All right, The Nine I Painted the Sky coming in at number 10. I dug that one. It was definitely different sounding than what you would just come up in your head with a Jimmy Buffett song. With
because I think a lot of the stuff we know, the atmosphere was set, it was the 70s ones that we kind of know. Yeah, it wasn't even released as a single. The next song on this album, Mexico, was in my research, but I think they made a very good choice starting it off.
Oh, yeah.
This way. The album went to number 6 in 1995, so that's pretty good for Jimmy, and actually went platinum eventually, so he was having success with it.
No, and I like the kind of topic and theme of the track, just kind of this guy going back. It's Independence Day, 4th of July, and he's going... And I like I slowly surrender to the child in me that can't say goodbye. So this guy, every 4th of July, it seems he harkens back to that nostalgia, that childlike
because we remember those times when it was simpler, right? We didn't have all these worries, so you just can't wait for the 4th to get to go watch fireworks. Yeah, I think it did a great job of painting that atmosphere.
I dug in the sand like a boy on a mission, and there in my hands, a pyro's delight. Lots of great descriptive imagery in here. It showers us all in sulfuric sensation. I really enjoyed that one. The color shine in a fiery rhyme tonight.
The rockets in the air and the people everywhere. Once you put away your differences for a while. So, let's all just come to common ground, enjoy this, and not worry about all these other things.
Oh, definitely. So, good way here to start the list. Now we're going to harken back to 1974 on the record A1A with Trying to Reason with Hurricane Season. Just
nice little rhyme.
Flows off the tongue. So, number 9, let's get to it. He's in a little bit more of that country sound that you would kind of expect a little bit. That pedal steel, I thought, added a nice texture to the tune, and I kind of dug the story Jimmy was telling here.
Yeah, I did too. He's just because this was actually only his 5th album too, so. The other one was way up there. I can't remember what number it was, but he even name checks the album title.
No, that was cool.
A1A. And A1A, Florida State Road A1A runs along the Atlantic Ocean, is the main road through most oceanfront towns. So that's it needs to be here for when hurricane season, Trey, because that's where that hurricane is coming in.
No, yeah, and this guy's a lot like me. He's sleeping way past noon.
True.
Then he knows, hey,
you don't go to bed till like 7 or 8 a.m. Though, sitting like you're sleeping in.
I knew I could use a Bloody Mary, so I stumbled next door to the bar, and then he notes, hey man, he can't run at this pace quite long. Eventually, this lifestyle's going to catch up to him, but it cleanses me out, and then I can go on. So I don't know if he's talking about the drink or if he's talking about the hurricane.
I know. I was wondering that too. Is the hurricane just kind of taking away all his other problems? I don't know.
Because then he notes that it's a most peculiar gray. The hurricane's coming down that A1A. And then at the end, though, he notes that, hey, after I'm watching for waterspouts, it's time to close the shutters. It's time to go inside. In a week, I'll be in Gay Paris. That's a mighty long airplane ride. So hurricane season's here.
I'm out.
He's getting out of here.
He's got to get out of this one, and then he'll be fine. He's got to ride it out.
So a fun song here coming in at number 9. Good choice. All right, that takes us now to number 8, The Last Mango in Paris from 1985.
Title track of the album.
That's right. Always love it when the title tracks get some love. This one's short and sweet, 3 minutes and some change. So
and the title's a little take on the 1972 movie The Last Tango in Paris.
There you go. It's kind of a neat little story
really
on
cool.
this one, man, because Jimmy's going down, sitting down at Captain Tony's, and then he sees a guy that I assume hadn't seen for a while.
Yeah, this guy has changed. He's trying to figure it out. He heard a voice call out to me, son, come out to see. I had to search my memory. That happens sometimes. You haven't seen anybody in forever, and he looked into those eyes. Our lives change like the weather, but a legend never dies. So I guess he must have thought highly of this guy or known a lot about this guy.
That's right. So then we get to the catchy little chorus here. He ate the last mango in Paris, last plane out of Saigon, first fast boat to China. And Jimmy, I kind of like it. He dresses Jimmy personally here. There's still so much to be done. And then he's mentioning his good run on Wall Street, his high fashion wife. He went to Africa and this for that. And then they kind of part ways. Jimmy goes into the bathroom, and what does he see? He sees that chorus written on the wall.
Yeah, man. I thought that was cool. And I don't know exactly this guy's story. I think part of the point of the song is this guy did all this stuff and he still wants to do more because I think that's life. You never do everything you wished you would have done, no matter
that's true.
No matter how much you do. So sometimes you got to take a deep breath and just be happy with it. But I like the part, took the last point out of Saigon. So I don't know if he just took the last point out of Saigon or he was in the Vietnam War.
That's true, yeah.
He survived it and he was there to the end. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's a good little point.
It's a really cool song, though. I really enjoyed it.
Then he had, I don't even know what that, maybe a xylophone or something at the end, which kind of gave it some, an added aura of fun on that one. So good, number 8 there. Now we're going to number 7 already. One particular harbor from the album on the same name in 1983. This song reached 22 on the Billboard Adult Contemporary chart. And Buffett said in interviews that he wrote the song while traveling the islands and that he was moved to write it one afternoon during his journeys. He was sitting on the balcony of his hotel watching the local children. There's a line in here where children play on the shore each day. So
yeah, and he's going to start this song off. I haven't heard it, but I've researched the lyrics a little bit. In Tahitian, little Tahitian at the start, little Tahitian at the end.
Cool.
So if any of you speak Tahitian, and also harbor is spelled like our UK brothers and sisters would.
That's right, man. Jimmy.
Shout out to you guys across the pond.
Multicultural here.
Yes.
Big kind of world music vibe here at different times.
Yeah, and he's waxing philosophically about this one particular harbor that he was, reminiscing on how he had so much fun there when he was younger. And
doesn't get there as often as he wants to because it's magical.
It's magical when he does. And if you're the Tahitian that keeps getting repeated over and over means life to nature, love the earth, and at the very end he pops in the outro a little more Tahitian that just says the bounty of the land is exhausted, but there's still abundance on the sea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but
all right, Jimmy. All right, and he notes there that as well. We had the line with the the kids in there. I'm glad we kind of knew that. And it's sheltered from the wind, sheltered from the world. It's a bit mysterious though as well. And then I like the Tahitian part because the choir was coming in, kind of cool. You had the percussion that was like the bongos or whatever.
It really set the atmosphere that we kind of expect from Jimmy.
This is really the first one that we've had.
Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to hear.
So good choice there, guys, at number 7. All right, that takes us now to number 6. The only song I'm familiar with on here. Josh super chatted this once.
That's right.
Flora Days from the record of the same name going to the 80s. Now, I like it. We've had a lot of different time periods for Jimmy on this list. So I don't really remember the song, Josh.
I don't either.
But maybe once it gets started, I do remember that you super chatted it, though, one time on one of our live streams.
I mean, Trey, we're 30 songs plus deep in streams that we do on Friday nights. It's a little hard to remember, man.
So, number 6, let's get it. Flora Days coming in at number 6. I'll tell you what, man, that last maybe minute 15 was maybe my favorite part of this list so far. Just with the smoothness of those harmonizing vocals coming in, and then the guitar just had that very unique type of sound in there. But this is probably going to end up in my top 3 when we do our favorite tracks at the end.
I think it is mine too. It has a very good story to it. All of his songs have a story. The lyrics aren't nonsensical. This one has, I think, a deeper story. He talks about being young and I think he's kind of wild and out there. And his parents were hoping my folks said it's just a phase. They're hoping for better days. I can't figure out really what his line of work is, but he kind of talks about that. But then he gets to a line, and this was written in 86. So this came out in 86. He said, "I spent a year of my life one night on the beaches in old Beirut. Seems that all they're aiming for there is to hang around and shoot each other's lives away. Bloody winds on a distant bay. They're looking for better days." Now, historically speaking, Beirut, Lebanon had a civil war. They had all this stuff going on. I think it was a civil war. Maybe someone else was attacking them. But we had U.S. troops there. I do believe my memory serves me right, maybe 82, 83. And so I'm wondering, was he there? And that's what he's talking about. So here he was on these beaches where he grew up, where everything was cool and fancy free. Now he's at these beaches where it's some serious stuff.
That's
and
true.
Then as it goes through, he gets back to the Flora days, and then he talks about the Dreamers line the state road. So they're watching the airplanes come, and then there's an instrumental in the Pale Invaders and Tan Crusaders are worshiping the sun on the corner of Walk and Don't Walk somewhere on US 1. So it goes back to that A1A.
That's right, yeah, man.
So it's pretty cool. They're all looking for better days because you go to the beach, whether you're going there on vacation, you live around there, you're going there because you want to do what? You want to chill. So I thought this had a much deeper story to it.
No, I don't have much to add. That's a fantastic analysis there. And
I mean, of course it is.
Just joking. Just lyrically and musically, man, I think this is a standout on this list so far. And now that's going to transition us to the top 5. Top 5, what do we got?
Well, the last 3 songs were all in the same wheelhouse in the mid-'80s. Now we're going to shift to the 70s, and we may not come out of them. I'm not going to say. Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, title track, 1977 album. This went to 37 on the Hot 100.
There you go.
24 on the country charts and 11 on the easy listening chart. I thought that was just a good demonstration of how Jimmy can go across all those lines.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it begins with an instrumental, which initially resembles the chorus of Yellowbird, which was originally a 19th century Haitian song.
I mean, I think everybody knows that.
Gained popularity in the U.S. through a Hawaiian-flavored instrumental by the Arthur Lyman Group in 61, and then it evolves into a distinctive chorus of this song itself. The phrase, "and sons of bitches," was edited out of the single version, replaced by "and some bruises, some stitches."
Well, guess what? You're going to get the uncensored version, boys and girls, so cover those ears if you need to.
All right, let's, with that intro, I'm looking forward to this one. Lots of the self-titled in here, and you know what, man? I think Jimmy loves his Paris.
I swear to you, I was going to say that too. It popped up yet again.
I think about Paris when I'm high on red wine. I wish I could jump on a plane, and hey, man, he
must have had a really good experience in Paris at some point. I like it just opens up with a fantastic. I took off for a weekend last month just to try and recall the whole year. So we know that time is passing by quickly.
Right.
All of the faces and all the places, wondering where they all disappeared. But I didn't ponder the question too long. He was hungry, man. He went out for a bite. Then he ran into a chum with a bottle of rum, and he wound up drinking all night, so he wasn't too worried about it.
And maybe that'll help him remember all of those faces and places and whatnot. And then he notes that chorus, very kind of country-ish, but the verses weren't. That was interesting.
Nice change up.
But so reading departure signs in some big airports, he starts to reminisce all the places he'd been, the good times he had, makes him want to go back again tomorrow. And then that's where you get the line, good times, riches, sons of bitches, I've seen more than I can recall. A lot of his lyrics, as you're noticing when we go through these songs, think back to other times and what you kind of learn from them, but that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, it makes them relatable to everyone.
Oh, definitely. But then he mentions, yesterdays are over my shoulder, so I can't look back for too long. There's just too much to see waiting in front of me, and I know I just can't go wrong. So he looks back, he appreciates it, but he knows ahead of him there's more things to come, I think.
Yeah, and I think the point of the chorus is, life changes, man. Things go quick. That's the changes in latitudes, changes in attitudes. The last line of the chorus, so if we couldn't laugh, we would all go and sing. You got to try, even in these difficult times right now, to not take everything too seriously. So a very nice choice there. All right, that brings us to number 4, Trey. We're going to kick it way back to 1974 off the album Living and Dying in Three-Quarter Time. Come Monday was Jimmy's first top 40 hit single, reached number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, as well as number 3 on the Easy Listening, number 58 on the Country. So here we go. He's across all levels.
Yeah, and he wrote this song to his wife while he was on tour. At a live performance in 74, he mentioned that he had written the song heading out to California the previous year, meaning that would have been written as he was heading up to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show in 1973. So, again, another short and sweet song, just over 3 minutes.
All right.
So let's see what we got come Monday. Very personal track, obviously.
Very personal, self-explanatory, and what you added at the start. They were driving up for the concert. He's letting her know that he misses her, and he's sorry, but it's going to be all right because he's going to be back home come Monday, and he'll be holding her tight. Like, this is just the life of a musician. I like at the start when he throws a reference in there, Trey, that you wouldn't get, but me being I was born in 71. Heading up to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. I've got my Hush Puppies on. They were a very popular shoe
okay, see, I was
in the 70s. And a hip rock and roller probably wasn't wearing his Hush Puppies, but that's Jimmy. He didn't care, so I love that part of it.
Yeah, and then he, lets us in a little bit. Remember the night in Montana when we said there'd be no room for doubt. I hope you're enjoying the scenery. I know that it's pretty up there. We can go hiking on Tuesday. With you, I'd walk anywhere. So, man, Jimmy bearing his heart on his sleeve here. With, showing his love for his wife there. Again, had that pedal steel guitar. Definitely had that. I've noticed more in the 70s stuff. It leans more into that country sound.
For sure.
But, it doesn't go over the top with it. One of the better vocal performances I think we've had up to this point as well. And now we're going to go to The Captain and the Kid, which is from Havana Daydreamin' in 1976. This song is obviously about my grandfather, and it means a lot to me. It was written shortly after he died. I like to tell the story about this song and why I don't pitch my material to other people. I was living in Nashville trying to eke out a living, and I spent a brief time trying to peddle my wares door to door to record producers. One day I was playing a batch of new songs for this guy, and he stopped the tape at the end of this song, which I took to mean that he had more than a casual interest. He said, "This is a great song, but you have to change the ending. It's too sad for the old man to die." I was shocked. Jimmy said, "I can't do that." "Why?" the man asked. "Well, because he did," I answered and walked out. I never pitched another song to
what a story.
anyone
Josh
again.
sent you that story, too. That's great info, Josh.
So thank you. Thanks, Josh, for providing that. And with that in tow, I guess we're in for a little sad song.
I know how this is going to end now. Come on, Trey.
The Captain and the Kid, number 3. I think that'll end up in my top 3 favorites as well because, man, I dug the arrangement of that. You had the strings coming in at the end. You had the acoustic and, again, that country kind of pedal steel-esque guitar in there. And then, of course, the lyrical content. Definitely the most heartfelt song I think we've had thus far.
Sure, it's personal. Really, these last 2 songs have been personal, and that's oftentimes where you get the best songwriting. I like his world had gone from sailing ships to raking mom's backyard. So he's obviously a sailor. That's what he did for a living, and now he can't do it anymore, so he has nothing to do. So he's filling the time. He never could adjust to land, although he tried so hard. And then it gets, of course, to the line you were talking about.
That's right.
At the start of He died about a month ago while winter filled the air, and though I cried, I was so proud to love a man so rare. It's just a wonderful song, man.
Yeah, very hard, and I like the concept. You got the captain, and then Jimmy's the kid here. You can just kind of envision grandpa, grandson going out, seizing the day, so to speak here. So a good choice here, and I think deserves a place so far on this list of being in this top 3. All right, we're in the top 2 now. Number 2, he went to Paris from a white sport coat and a pink crustacean. That's an album
good
name
job,
right there. From 1973, the fourth and final single rather. And this is what Jimmy had to say about the tune. The song was actually about a guy I met in Chicago, and he was the cleanup guy at a club called The Quiet Night, where a lot of prominent singer-songwriter careers were launched.
And that guy was Eddie Balchowski.
And he only had one arm, and so he started telling me stories about his days fighting in the Spanish Civil War, and when he got wounded, he came back to Paris.
There we go, baby.
For his treatment. The song is more reflective of stories that Eddie told me. All they did was accentuate the history in the books that I was familiar with from Hemingway, Fitzgerald. The song was actually written in Chicago, of all places, and was written based off the stories of Eddie. So, interesting little backstory there.
At that point, I don't believe I'd ever been to Paris. Well, here we go. You put all that stuff together and you mix it like gumbo. He also said that on one of the live albums, on the live album You Had to Be There, he mentions this as a favorite song, maybe the favorite song he ever wrote. He rarely played it live until he found out that Bob Dylan likes the song and decided to start playing it on a more frequent basis. And Waylon Jennings, the great Waylon Jennings of all people, covered this song in 1980. That's Jimmy, man, just going across all these.
Well, if Waylon and Dylan like it, it's probably going to be a good tune.
Pretty good.
Powerful tune here as well, man. This top 5 has had a lot of great lyricism, and hey, that's probably why Josh and Tyler put them in the top 5, man.
Yeah, fantastic. The Spanish Civil War was fought from 1936 to 1939, so that's why, at the end of the song, we realize the guy's, 86, I think?
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah,
just what a story of his life, man. He got married. I guess the war took his son.
His wife
was killed by the bombing.
Yeah, the war took his baby. Bombs killed his lady and left him with only one eye. His body was battered. His whole world was shattered, and all he could do was just cry. That's kind of like the climax of the song.
So he had to get out of there.
Eddie lived a tough life. So he hopped on that freighter, skidded the ocean, and left England without a sound. There was nothing left for Eddie in that place. Man. And what does he do now? He lives on the islands, drinks his green label each day, writing memoirs. He's losing his hearing, but he don't care what most people say. I like that line there.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And low-key thing I haven't mentioned with these last few albums, the albums of the 70s, man, album covers on point from Jimmy.
Absolutely,
goodness,
dude. Man. Yeah, look at this.
On point,
repping the cowboy hat, just out there. We got the foot up on the dock.
Yeah, they've all been fantastic as I've been looking at them here.
So now we're to number 1, people.
And number 1 is not going to be what I think the common person who isn't familiar with him would think it's going to be, but I've loved these choices for the reasons you said, the lyricism. We're going to go back to A1A from 1974. A Pirate Looks at 40. He wrote the song about, let's see. We'll go with Josh sent us a write-up. The real pirate's name was Philip Clark. He was one of the most unforgettable characters I met when I first lived in Key West back in the days before it turned into a boutique. When I finished the song, I knew I'd done him justice, and it's a fitting eulogy to an old friend. He died a few years ago under an alias, washed up on a beach near San Francisco. They flew his body back to Key West, where some of his ashes were scattered at sea, and some still sit above the cash register in the Full Moon Salon. That is an awesome...
saloon.
Yeah, that is great.
The Full Moon Saloon, baby. And that's going to be interesting. And it's going to detail out, I guess, this guy was a bit of a washed-up drug smuggler.
Yeah.
It looks going to look back at the first 40 years of his life, lament a little bit, look at piracy on the high seas. So we're going to have a little bit of everything on this one.
I'm looking forward to it.
Number one. And after that, we'll do our favorite tracks. So let's get it, man. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The number 1 track, A Pirate Looks at 40. So, what were your thoughts?
I thought it was a great story. I mean, it's good that we know what these things are about whenever we start in. I mean, just telling his life, and basically never felt like he fit in. You know, he's wanted to be on those seas from the time
That's
he was
right.
born.
Well, that and you'll notice that a lot with Jimmy's lyrics. A lot of imagery about the ocean, the beaches, the seas.
And a lot of reminiscing.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of reminiscing, a lot of looking back. The hook, you know, yes, I'm a pirate 200 years too late. So the stuff he was doing out there, you know, later on, he says he made enough money to buy Miami, and
yeah, and then he pissed it all away. Yeah,
so, you know, he's doing a bunch of smuggling, as happens in port cities, and you know, he got probably to an age where, because it still goes on today, you know, where he couldn't really hold up to it anymore.
And then he's been drunk for 2 weeks, passed out, down to rock bottom again. Just a few friends. He goes for the younger women, even has lived with a few.
But he ran them all away.
Still could manage to smile, just takes a while. So even through all this, just kind of like our last tune, even through bad stuff that maybe has happened to this guy.
Exactly.
There's a lot of it brought on himself.
Yep.
He still manages the brighter side of life looking at it. So I dug this one. Definitely another powerful story. And again, he had that country kind of pedal steel in there, the harmonica, good arrangement. And yeah, man, good list, Tyler and Josh. Shout out and kudos to y'all. Now that's going to move to our favorite tracks.
Yeah, and I wonder, Josh didn't say it, but I bet him and Tyler, I don't know if it's their true top 5, but I bet most of the songs in the top 5 were the ones they agreed upon. I do like a couple things. I like the fact, even though I love the song, everybody loves the song. It's one of the greatest sing-along songs ever, Margaritaville.
That's right.
But that it's not on the list. I know some of you in the comments are not probably going to like that, and I get that side of it too, because it's such an iconic song. But you mentioned it before this last song, the lyricism is just fantastic, especially in these top 5 songs. Really, definitely. So my favorites are going to be Flora Days.
Good one.
The Captain and the Kid.
That's one of mine.
And He Went to Paris.
I'm going to go the Captain and the Kid. I'm actually going to go our number 10, The Night I Painted the Sky. Just like the nostalgia factor of that one. Too. And just the arrangement, very low key with the key arrangement in that. And gosh, then this last one.
They're all good songs.
I like Flora Days. I want to kind of give a shout out as well to Last Mango in Paris, because I thought that one was a little bit cool. But you know what? I think I'm going to go to He Went to Paris as well, and going to give that my final spot in the top 3 for me. But there was a lot in contention, and yeah, man,
definitely.
Just not knowing any of Jimmy's music, kind of seeing some of the themes and stuff that he goes through. Like Josh said, he's not a blowaway singer, he's not going to wow you with a ton of innovation, but he knows what works.
And his lyrics are strong.
Yeah, and he's able to tell a story, able to connect with the audience. And hey, man, that's all you want with your music. You want to have that staying power, want to have that connection. And Jimmy's been able to carve that out through these decades, and smart with it. And as Josh said, at the end of the day, man, sometimes you just want to have fun.
Right. And I mean, I came into this as knowing Margaritaville and hamburger, so my idea of Buffett has definitely changed. Just a great list. Josh and Tyler did a fantastic job, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know, y'all, your top 10 Buffett songs down in the comments below. Always enjoy these top 10 lists and hearing from the community as well. And as always, Dad, appreciate the research. And until next time, thanks for watching, happy listening, and we will see ya.